Alright, so hello and welcome to the stream. We'll continue along with the illustration part of this piece. Right now, what we have here in terms of the line portion, we have, for all intents and purposes, basically everything that is going to go on top of the table. Yeah, I think everything that's going to go on top of the table. Maybe actually like fill all these bowls up with something so that they're just not a single bowl shape. But it do need to be changed a little bit because basically all of this, apart from a little bit on top of the actual grill, needs to be static. So it needs to be one giant piece because if you have a lot of big pieces, probably doesn't matter if I had more RAM and probably a better CPU, but my PC really doesn't like it, so we're going to try and avoid that. All of this needs to be squished down to one layer, which means that things like this need to be like slightly chopped up so that they're not overlapping on each other. But now I'm going to move over to all of the moving pieces. I just kind of looked at this, I was like, wait, there's stuff on the table that's going to be in front of the... That's not good. How do we deal with that? It needs to be tiered. Oh, it needs to be... Well, I guess that's no bad in having multiple options pointing around. Basically, it just needs to be a set where... Okay, so it has to be like the first set of the foreground, and then Otogi and Kurumi will need to be slotted in between that and the next set of the foreground, and then Niko and Yukino will be behind that. Actually, the table should be in the front, shouldn't it? Just like looking at it now. I'll figure out how to deal with the table at a later date. For now, just gonna like go through and put in all of the parts here for the people who need to be at the front. Alright, so if there needs to be multiple parts, it's probably going to be the arms and the hands. Realistically speaking, the other parts should be more or less fine in terms of face and the hair bits that need to go on top as well. I'm looking at Otogi and just deciding how to do like the messier bits of her hair that flicks off to the left side of her head. I feel like I also actually lit here just like four to the side. Well, regardless, first up, I want to turn her head in a bit just to make the face a little bit easier to work with, and I want to raise her head up a little. So I'm actually gonna need a neck here. Like a little bit of neck, like right here. Yeah, my cursor is on the screen. Okay, so in theory, if I don't actually ever turn her head far enough around where she's literally facing straight forward, it actually doesn't require a base head, because 3/4 head is actually relatively easy to work with, given that it doesn't turn to the point where it's literally facing the front, so... I we're gonna just use this as the base shape here. Actually, I want to bring this out a little bit more. That do something weird if I just add that flick in there. And like gently block that around. Ooh. Why is it doing that? Can I actually salvage this? Let me have a look at this. What is happening here? Why is it like that? I actually want to bump her cheek out a little bit more than it currently is. I don't think I'm really bringing that out far enough, but should it be lower? Alright, we'll just use that as the base shape for now. Basically, I don't need the whole kid. It comes down to a bit. Just having a shape that makes it easy to work with. Kind of looking at it, it's like, should it be just significant? His shape doesn't really encompass the whole head going through the back here. Really be like quite a bit wider this way. You know, actually like here. Can I just salvage that? Let me see if I can just... It's not horrific. I can work with that. Also, I should. What do I want to do? Oh, side. She turned one way, so this still had to be side, right? Was this the inner? Okay. Also do a outer. Actually sprout her here more like a I want to curve it that much. How does this bit of her hair actually work? Kind of stick. What do we call this part? Should this actually wait? Should this part? Okay, this part, yeah. Sure. Alright, let's make a whole bunch of folders here. Actually, tuck this in a little bit more. Also needs to go from... Wait, did I do that on the wrong layer? I totally did. Then we want to go front right. There's gonna be a lot of water. 1, 2. We want to have the bit that goes over and in, is like this strand. I want it to pull out. Question. Let's see. I need to pull that in more. Let's go more like... Aim it at the current ear, which should be, well, like... Then we want to go... I don't want to layer this. Front center. Front center. I need to do one more for the other side. That still needs to be partially on top of the head, doesn't it? At least part of it needs to be. Oh, make that. Go. Two. Alright, we're aiming just at what the hand or the eye. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 bum. There'll be something underneath here. I just let this cover this part of her head. Bum, bum. Let's up. I should do this. Probably just like put this out actually. Do an outro here. This will fold over like oh, by the way, how you doing? Beginning the main lineup portion for all the parts. So the current plan is that I think I don't need to turn the hits enough to warrant needing to start the hits from a front-on position. Actually, just like let this drop. Do I need to separate this into two parts? But I really want the rest of this to go actually behind the head. That is kind of awkward. Let's just make a inner here. And we're only going to curl that over the top, like going to pull that in kind of here. At least looking at how her hair is sitting in her game art, I'm actually presuming that's more her hang. At least it looks like it's her hair hanging off a little bit to one side because she tilted her head over her head, just naturally floating off her head more than normal. Because actually, I kind of see the exact same thing with her hair is actually like kind of really floating off her head, even though she is not tilting her head. I guess we could just grab this piece and just go. Nah. Okay, how do I deal with the end of this? Can I just pull this down? I think I actually can just pull it. We just pull this down to like, oh, that's the wrong layer. And just pull this below this and into here. And just pull a couple of strands behind the head here as well. Even though anything beyond like the front part right here kind of like folds outward. Okay, where did the ear have to go? I do that all. Actually, I could do that all the same ball. I feel like I'm also very aggressively pulled in her head. How do I so aggressively pulled in her head? Okay, I'll do a top piece here. Then we'll put the ears on top of the top piece. Where's you? I'm actually gonna yank you up a little bit more this way. How much did that go out by? Yeah, I can go with that. I'll fix up the line a little bit here. How about round I want to pull this? Because I want to layer this in a way where the remainder just goes behind the head, right? No, I don't. I would like to pull this down to a passes deep, right? We're trying to pull it in like right. Perfect. Behind the ear. So now this piece is sitting all the way through here. This will cover basically just all the gaps on top of the head. Okay, so we're gonna have to separate her ear from her box ears. But there's nothing like anime girls with animal ears nowadays also having human ears. Out there. Okay, how much do we need to separate this? Okay, first things first, it is on the wrong spot. So we're gonna go back over to here. Literally just gonna go and grab the ears, and we're just kind of gonna go. Yeah. A bit closer to something like this. How many pieces do I actually need here? There's no effective like fluff in her ear compared to the other three. So I just go a front and then a back. So the front showing the outside of the ear, and then the back showing the inside of the ear. That's what I mean. Let me just stand up before my back goes out. I can already feel it hurting. Alright. I'm gonna get some water while it's going up. Alright. So each of these are going to need two pieces. One is so freaking hot. Alright. The layers. There's too many folders, it's getting so deep. We'll just do the same here. Okay, left ear. Kind of want like this back view of the. Actually, don't even need to be able to see inside because her ears are like very side. They're not like forward pointing, they're very outward pointing. But I only see the outside here. I'm gonna cut this back a little bit. I think I do. I'll let us just shave this back a little. About there. We just shave this down a bit too. Do I need a back piece here? Am I gonna turn the hit enough where this is relevant? Actually, that should be the queen. You know, I may as well just like have one to be safe. There's not really that much extra work here. We'll go. Okay, how much do I need to curl to here? I need to peek. Well, the rest of the menus goes behind the hit. Let's grab some folders now, go behind the head. Do I need to do this behind them? Oh yeah, let's do this behind the body. This could basically be very. This could be very. What else do I need up here? Ears, front. Then we'll go here. We'll go whole gay. That is floating. Okay. That is very much floating. Why is it floating? Well, either way, it folds backwards, so that's enough of him to work with. Okay, then from here, I do want to have a little bit of the bits flicking off here on this higher link. So we'll go down to you, right? Then do I need this piece to be above the head parts? We'll do one more piece here behind the ear. We can actually go back. Yeah, I could go further back. Let's do this part later with the back parts. What do we want to do here? We want to go. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. It just like fold in wide here, I think. Like this. I just connect this. Yeah. Okay, so I need to separate. I need to turn more. I want to. Okay, we'll go. Okay, so basically we want to have this part. Then we turn you off, and then we just turn. Okay, What do we want to do here? 1, 2. What do I want to do here? I need a out bit here too. Okay, let's go. Yeah, we're gonna let this work out a little bit more. Okay, then I'm gonna add a little bit more to the top of our head here. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, we'll go with that for now. Bu- 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 bum, bum. Okay, let's see. Where to go? Folder, face, eyes, and then one more for eyes. Oh, lash, iris, lid, eyelash. Then it's mostly a flat line across due to extension complete. Look on the eyelid. Didn't we want to go? Duplicate. It lifts. Okay, can I do this whole part as one piece? I should be able to. Literally just pull. Line should be complete and you just pull it in. Want to flick off like right about here. Ba, 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 ba. How about there? I will just bring just a little bit of overflow like right here. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, la, ba, bum, ba, la, ba, ba. Um. Ba, ba. I'll add 2 more layers here. Go, bro. Go. Bottom lid. Ba, ba, ba. Should be about like how do I feel about? Okay, let's see. Okay, first up, let me turn this. How do I feel about this shape? Okay, that works. Ba 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 bum. Ba ba ba. A little up. Ba 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 bum. Ba bum ba bum. Oh boy. Ba bum ba ba. Whoop. Ba, bum, ba. Ba, la, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum. Oh, wait. Bum, ba, la, ba, bum, ba, bum. Bum, ba, la, ba, bum. Okay, close that, close that. Alright, put this into folder. We go Meowth. We just need the bridge of the nose. Actually, should this be more out? It'd be like... Ba, ba, bum. Duplicate. And it's the fun bit where this actually has to be the exact same layer and it needs to be a 9% straight line to make it easier to work with. Actually, you know what? It's probably better if I just leave that. Alright, duplicate that. Okay, then. Okay, so... Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Ba, ba, How much is the body gonna turn? How much do I need to separate this? I might actually be able to get away with not separating this very much at all. Good thing the uniform is also quite basic, so I really don't have to worry about the parts quite as much. I actually want to increase or drop where the body is. Just lift the head a little bit here. Alright, just go like that, go like that. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, how do we do this? Niko, like. Do the neck like that. So we have a little bit more leeway with some of the body here. Do I need to separate this from the remainder? Alright, then we want to go. I actually want to bring this up a bit. So basically we need to go right, left. Right. She does just need to go. Okay. Like that. I want to pull this all the way in here. Over the shoulder, which is about here. Bup, 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 bup. We just roll. How do I need to bring it around the other side here? It needs to be below the head, but it also need to be... Actually, no, it's not that close to it. So below this goes what do we want to do with this thing here? We want to... How much is this gonna swing and how much can I just make it one piece? Or can I make the hole that the scarf comes out of part of the scarf layer? That's also one way to go about it, isn't it? We don't need a front and a back piece. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put this as the what is this? What do you call it? Actually, decently long. It's not that wide. And a little bit, but it needs to be quite long. Longer. Actually, wait, no. If I'm looking at it from this angle, then I'm not seeing the. Looking at like flattened side like this. You need to worry about the opening there. Okay, then happens. Do that. Then we just need to bring this down so that just bring it down. It's kind of loosely going in, so it doesn't need to be as tight as some of the others. Kind of flop this over. And just to make this easier to work with later, I think I'm gonna go ahead and close them out. Easier to work with. I don't need to do with extra lining in with just the color. Can I just connect this line? Then we need to do the two coming out the bottom. So we'll go... The front is shorter than the back, so we'll go ahead and just flop this down. Roll it in. Then we need to flop this down. Don't care too much about the shape that's being hidden in the back. This isn't going to move too much. Didn't work. I'll actually shorten this a little bit. We'll just kind of go like... And then we just grab both of these and just go. Then through here we need to actually get the back piece of this. Where we want. Then over back to here, we're going to bring this round. We're going to go up, up, through the front. Hello there, how you doing? Yeah, a little bit. For the back piece here, we're just gonna bring this around. We're just gonna go so that we do have the gold bit kind of visible from the back as well. Then from here was this a square? Where we'll work on the orientation here, so that's a bit of a curved line. So going to just line width narrow. Then we want to grab this and just, if I can very carefully work this into here by going a little bit up this way, a little bit down this way. And then we just want to merge. Okay. But anyways, welcome to the stream. Partway through some line art, I did get through a whole head for the most part, so I'm actually somewhat proud of that. Well, not the whole head, but it's most of the head. We're working through the body right now. It has still taken me pretty much a full mission, but getting through it and see how all the other parts come together beyond that. This can just go. What is this? I don't know what this is. But we've got the little bit going through here where we want to go what? Basically just hides like the column. Some bits have moved around. I can kind of see that the sketch is not lining up with the head anymore because I moved the head up a little bit. Got a bit more neck in there. I like that for now. Okay, so we can use a little bit of the creasing here to try and mess with how the body actually sits. How do I want to deal with it? That will do. Hello there, how are you doing? Okay, for the torso piece, how much is the body going to turn? That basically determines how much or how I need to do the body exactly. If the body needs to twist a substantial amount, that means that the arm ideally needs to only contain the cylinder, and the intertorso portion should not include the shoulders. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So below the collar, the scarf, then we actually have the uniform body. Have form the torso, which is basically the bit that actually hangs out the back here. So we're going to draw the line up for the back down from kind of what, like down from here down to about here. It should really not actually hang so loosely off her back. It can hang loosely off her front, but it shouldn't actually hang loosely off her back, should it? want to bring it in a little then, if I'm gonna be pedantic about it. Bring it in like a little bit here. I'm going to roll this right here. Make this like not completely uniform as it comes around. Be a little bit wild with the how the line's working, just so that it's not just a clean round shape. And honestly, the rest of this can be hidden underneath the table. So I think I'm actually going to tilt. Yeah, I'm going to tilt this a little bit more. Because it hangs off the front of her body, it won't hang off the back of her body. When it's hanging off, it's going to be what, less of a round shape and more of a square shape. Hang over the breast area and then just kind of like let it fall. And then this is this part here. Do I need this here? Not really. It's just out of there. Let's let that part be smooth because it's loosely hanging. Then we're just going to draw some very random folds into here just so that to detail the top here a little bit. So one fold I write here. That's like not quite in, but it's also not visible, so let's and we just have like one crease coming down like from here. Not as properly done as it should be, but also it's out of view, so there's a part of me that's saying. And also we've got the seam lining here, so we just kind of follow the line. This is really only important on the side where it's actually going to be like somewhat visible. So once this pulls under the table, I'm just going to kind of cut it off completely. Is this ever going to pull up enough to make this be visible? No, probably not. Probably not. So I just cut this off here. I think I just got to cut it off at this first fold. And just not do the rest of it. Yeah, it's not really relevant. Okay, so that's that part. Then we want to go pocket. We're going to put this right against the edge of this part here. Actually no. Do I? Actually no, probably not. We'll go across. Give a little bit of a bump. Kind of let it roll over the breast. Pull this in. Give it a little bit of a shape that follows the body line, and then roll that around. And then what is actually happening on top of this? What is a bag? Probably better if I just draw one line like this. Do those stripes completely separately. I mean, this looks like a card. So I think what this should do, this part should be rigid. So let's just say this from here to like a rigid shape. Do I need to separate it? It's a rigid shape. I should separate it if it's a rigid shape. Well, that's not at all even. Yeah, whatever. That's close enough. Okay, then. Oh, we're actually gonna need a little bit of our torso coming through. Does it matter what I'm doing with the torso here? Can I actually connect it to everything else? Because there is the argument where I just actually bring this part all the way down to basically what's effectively going to be her hip or waist area. They would just kind of cut off of where the arm would be and just kind of along her back go. So bring that down and not going to be visible on this side, so do I care? Right, then above this, we do need to have the skirt layer. There's no way this is tucking that hard, right? I don't need to squish this, do I? Is the body gonna move enough at this spot in the very corner, the spot you can barely see, to warrant this being more than one leg? Is there even a reason for this to be separate from the actual torso above it? Okay, maybe for the torso above it, because this can actually control the torso above can move, but the skirt itself should not. This is basically just a butt. Okay, we'll just do the single layer because there's just definitely no way I'm making this move in a way where it warrants more motion. We're not even gonna do the whole thing because it's kind of irrelevant. Do that, and we'll just maybe just do this. Wrap this around. Going. Then we shall just go ahead and pull this out and around. We'll just pull in and over, and this isn't going to move, so we're going to keep this underneath the table. We're just going to close this off to make it easy. This isn't how a skirt actually looks. It is good enough for what we need. Okay, then arm. Alright, how do we want to do the arms? We want to bring left upper arm behind body. So that means we want to go left lower arm. Probably is not going to move too much, so we're just going to go ahead and bring it down her. Do I need to crumple it more? No, crumple it on the inside, but not on the outside, right? So it'll be largely smooth, just like coming down from the shoulder here. And you won't really see the crumpling because that'll be like behind the ball. This could like... Actually, this needs to like kind of lump at the elbow here, right? Just have a backside to this just to make it a little bit easier to work with. I don't want to close it off just to make it less of a pain later when I'm coloring. And we want the seam to be about... make this not completely even just to increase the interest here. I'm not going to close it off because the whole thing needs to be one color anyway. It saves a bit of time if my paint bucket flow all the way in. Then, ideally this needs to be in front of everything, right? So the rest of the arm is basically just in front of absolutely. Apart from the collar. Yeah, okay. I think we're just gonna finish her left arm here and then finish up for the day because I need to shut up soon and let people sleep. But I'll go through the majority of Otogi. Should bode decently well. In all likelihood, I think I am going to work on this in my own time. So it should move a bit further ahead from where it is today by the time it gets around to next week. Also, I should say, the plan right now is I'm going to start scheduling the stream to start an hour earlier, starting next week. Just so that I'm extending the amount of time I'm actually working on it. But I do actually want to try finishing this within the month. Whether the stream starts at that time is a different matter. But it will still be ending at the same time. So basically, I'll just be live for an extra hour. The caveat to that is that I don't know if I can actually start on time. I mean, I'm not exactly starting on time nowadays, but I'll be scheduling an hour earlier. If I can start an hour earlier, I'll start an hour earlier. If I can't, then the latest that I'll be starting would just be the same time as before. And I'm not gonna try and explain time zones and the expected times from there, so I'm just gonna give the very vague. I'm gonna try and start an hour earlier. If I burn out really quickly, then we'll just cut that hour back off. Because it might happen, honestly. Because once again, I stream as the last thing I do before I go to sleep. I am already tired by the time I start. So just see how that goes for a little while. But for all intents and purposes, nothing's really changing. I'm very aware that I don't pull people in for the full time I'm streaming nowadays anyway. So when you pop in at the same time, I'll still be on at the same time. I need to do this. I'm not gonna move at all, so I can literally just do the stuff here. I don't want to like flatten it, but just pull this out. Go like this. Do I even need the hand at this point? And then if I bring the hand out, I do need to actually do I need to even separate the hand? I can probably actually put the hand like in. Alright, anyways, I think that will do it for today. So that is like actually about 80% of Otogi. I'm saying that because 15% is probably just going to be her right hand, which will probably cause a bit of sanity loss. But because like realistically, I'm calling 15% her braid at the back, a couple of strands of hair on the left side of her head, her right arm, and then her right hand. I'm calling that close to 20% of her left. Alright, so anyways, that's it. I'm going to try and schedule out early. I'm going to try and start out earlier. Whether that happens or not is a different matter, but the end time doesn't change, so you can't pop in for the full time. You don't need to pop in for the full time. You just show up whenever and I'll be here, because I'm doing this all for free, and this is free content because this is YouTube. So there's no obligations on either side when it comes down to it. Alright, so anyways, thank you very much for watching today's session of Lineart 4 Live 2D animation. We'll continue along with this. I am actually looking at this and getting a little bit worried about whether it's going to lag the moment I put it in Live 2D already, because this is a lot of parts and there's 4 characters worth, along with a table and a background. And Live 2D really doesn't like very large pieces, but if you want to see the chaos that this will probably cause on my computer rather than the actual work that needs to be done, remember to be subscribed or following depending on where you're watching from. Leave a like because it helps me out, and see you again next time.